Welcome back to the Body Composition Coach podcast, and we are on episode 15. Now, you might have noticed things look a little bit different. Wherever you're watching this, Spotify, YouTube, any other platform, hopefully you're watching it or maybe listening to it. You might think it sounds a little bit different. You might think it looks a little bit different. And you'd be right. We're in the studio today. We're filming some episodes for you guys here. But listen, yes, things look nicer. The presentation's nicer. I've actually put some nice clothes on for once, but nothing changes. Like, the delivery and the information that I want to give you guys is to help you level up your nutrition, your training, your mindset, so that you can achieve the goals that you're chasing around fat loss and getting lean, toned, strong, whatever that is for you right now. The delivery doesn't change. The information stays the same. So let's get into today's episode. The thing that I want to talk to you about today is the 2% rule. Now, there's a really interesting study, let's call it a fact. It was popularized by Darren Hardy in his book, The Compound Effect. The concept or the study that he talks about is how in a public scenario or public situation, when faced with a choice of the escalator or the stairs, only 2% choose the stairs on a regular basis. Now, this, whilst a study, so factual or evidence, let's call it, also for me represents a metaphor, because this episode isn't going to be about the stairs or the escalator. It's going to be about the two mindsets that come alongside those things. So we can call that the escalator mindset and we can call that the stairs mindset. It's not about the stairs or the escalator. It's about human behavior. It's about when faced with a choice of a more difficult route to the top or an easier, more simple route to the top that requires less effort, people generally tend to choose the easy route to the top. And I think this transfers to fitness perfectly, because within the fitness space, within training, nutrition, mindset, dieting, muscle building, fat loss, there is the escalator illusion. There is the illusion of the escalator, and it seems like a smart choice. So this might show itself, you could say it shows itself in things like Mounjaro, GLP-1 drugs, but I'll let you decide that. But it also shows itself in things like the 6-week shred. It shows itself in the program hopping or the nutrition plan hopping, because what people are generally looking for when they're taking part in 6-week shreds or Mounjaro, if you want to include that, or, you know, when they're skipping from program to program, or they're jumping from nutrition plan to nutrition plan, what they're looking for is a quick route to the top, an escalator, something that is going to give them a result that they're not getting right now, or a result that is going to be enhanced in some way. And that is the illusion of the escalator when it comes to fitness. You, in theory, or the mindset is that you're going to take the escalator to the top because you're going to arrive at the top in a shorter amount of time that it takes to do the hard work that you would have to do if you weren't jump into that program or jump into that nutrition plan or doing this 6-week shred. But the stairs, on the other hand, in reality offer very little short-term benefit. In fact, you could call it a disbenefit. So you get out of breath, you get tired, you maybe sweat a little bit, depends how long the staircase is. And there's no obvious reason at the time while you're walking up the stairs and there's an awkward moment where you're walking at the same speed as the people coming up the escalator next to you. There's no obvious reason why you should have chosen the stairs, and people on the escalator are probably looking at you and they're thinking, why is this guy here walking up the stairs when this escalator is comfortable and easy and right next to him? So in the moment, it's actually pretty pointless, or it seems that way. But this is where people who succeed in fitness, this is what they understand and this is what they get right. Because they don't look for the shortcut. They don't look for a 6-week shred, a quick diet hit, a new training plan that's going to completely revolutionize the way they train. What they actually look for is hard decisions. They look for the hard decisions where they need to track the food, even though the scale isn't moving, where they need to train hard for weeks and months and years and do that extra rep when you don't want to do the extra rep, and eat the salad when they don't want to eat the salad, and say no to the drinks when they want to have the drinks. They look for those hard decisions, which display no immediate benefit there and then at the time. There's no immediate benefit to you eating the salad. There is no immediate benefit to you pushing those extra couple of reps out that you know are there, but you're not doing them. There's no immediate benefit to saying no to the drinks with friends when everybody else is going. There's no immediate benefit to any of those things. But you understand that by taking the stairs and making the hard decision for hard decision's sake sometimes, or it kind of feels that way, like it's for hard decision's sake, over the long term, you don't end up in the same place as the people who have taken the escalator. Within the metaphor, you do. They take you to the same place, the next floor up, right? But in reality and in fitness, taking the stairs and making the hard decisions on a regular basis, the decisions compound. So whether that's with your fat loss, pushing through hunger, not bailing out from your cardio, whether it's the muscle building, and whether that's doing the extra couple of reps, adding the extra bit of weight to the bar, eating the protein, choosing to sleep and get your recovery in, all of these things, all of these decisions compound. And the shortcuts, the escalators, the route to the top, over time, does not provide the same benefit as the stairs decision. So look, to give you some examples of some hacks and shortcuts that you might potentially want to look out for if you are wanting to choose the stairs and make those hard decisions on a regular basis. That might be things like cold plunges or detox teas or a supplement, maybe. It's not to say all supplements are bad, because they're not. Like, some are fantastic. Fancy gadgets. I haven't got my Apple Watch on right now, but all of these things are almost at times a distraction. They're not inherently bad, but they're the escalator in disguise. You think, well, by doing the cold plunge, by taking the detox tea, by buying the fancy gadget, by buying the new nutrition plan or whatever it might be, you think they're the escalator and the route to the top. The reality is they're just hacks. They're hacks and they're escalators. And if you're trying to replace the fundamentals of the hard work and the hard decisions, and I won't repeat them, but we know what they are. If you're trying to replace the hard work and the hard decisions with an escalator in disguise, then you're always going to end up back at the ground floor, unfortunately. So this leads on to the bigger point, and that is that ultimately in fitness, I talk to hundreds and hundreds of people every day. I've worked with hundreds of clients over the years, and the reality is, when you look at how many actually succeed, obviously within a coaching program like ours, the majority do. But when you look at this on the face of it, of everybody, you're probably looking at 2% of people that succeed, and those numbers kind of add up, right? Because it's only 2% of people who are able to approach a situation where there is a choice of hard or easy. They choose hard for hard's sake. And choosing hard for hard's sake, they eventually compound over time and get the result they want. So I think my question to you in watching this episode today is, what hard decisions are you avoiding right now that may well be taking the escalator in disguise rather than the stairs? And how can you switch yourself from the escalator mindset, the easy way to the top, the hack, the quick fix, the 6-week shred, the detox tea, the ice bath? How can you switch yourself from that mindset and that sort of thinking to the stairs mindset, where it's choosing hard for hard's sake, hard decisions, getting out of bed at 5 a.m. to go and get your workout in, because you know that when you do that, that is going to compound over time. Going out at 8 p.m. at night to get your steps in because you know you're 2,000 or 3,000 steps short of where you should be, and you make that hard decision because you know the decision compounds. Choosing the salad over the pizza because it shows no benefit there and then at the time, but it compounds over time. Choosing not to go for drinks when it shows no benefit at the time, but knowing it compounds over the long term, weeks, months, and years. So my question to you is, what hard decisions are you avoiding? What decisions do you need to, or what hard decisions do you need to lean into right now that over time, over the next few weeks and months, are going to compound? So listen, thanks for joining me on episode 15 of the Body Composition Coach podcast in my new surroundings. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening. As always, please leave me a review, a 5-star review, some feedback. Let me know what you thought of the podcast. Your feedback is honestly so valuable to how we shape this podcast. And as always, if you want to work with us, if you want help making the hard decisions, if you need that accountability to make the hard decisions, to take your training, your nutrition, your mindset to the next level, reach out to us on any of our platforms, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, drop us a message, let us know, and we'll talk to you about what we can do to help you choose the stairs over the escalator more regularly.